Hey everybody, hope you are doing good. Just want to give you all some insight. Anybody that's inclined to the truth, that wants to know how to not just be on the right side of the tracks, not just to feel good about yourself from some place where you feel just kind of complacent, comfortable. You finally arrived at somewhere where you accept yourself for who you are. But if you think there's more, especially beyond what you're hearing in the churches, not just from the world, this is the place you can come to, one of the places to hear truth. We're not putting ourselves on a platform in a place separated from other people to just give some exclusiveness, to reach some sort of monetary or other ulterior motives for some kind of gain. We're truly just following in the footsteps of Jesus as he commissioned us to speak the truth from the words that he spoke simply in the Gospels that he gave us, and so masterfully constructed with all of them, that undeniably show his power, not just his existence historically, but also his true deity and the nature of that, and why we need a savior, and why nobody's beyond that. Nobody that can have any sort of worldly virtue, based in moral or ethical standards, to where they don't need a savior, to where they're so good that they get into heaven, because nobody is. So there's a lot of stigma that can carry, with people that have mental health issues, even having to do with addiction and alcoholism in the church. Those that sit in places of judgment, that can look and, they're confused in the least, but also many of them passing judgment can say, well, they don't have anything any different than anyone else. And, for anybody wondering about that, that is totally true. And that's what we talk about to people. Because we tell them there is no place you have gone, no distance you have gone from God that cannot be brought back. You cannot be brought back and healed by the power of Jesus Christ, by the transforming power of faith, the transformative power in your mind that has to do with the faith that is, in definition, the simplest, most pivotal definition you could come up with. Faith is the absence of unbelief. The power of that, and not just the idea as far as faith. Well, I believe Jesus existed. In the same way, if you see a house that's on fire, or say like a cliff, and you're driving your car and you say, I believe there's a cliff there, and yet you drive your car straight towards the cliff until you drive off of it, you really didn't believe it. Because belief is not just saying something, it's actually following through, as James talked about, that, faith without works is dead. It's not that we can buy ourselves into heaven or complete some sort of task list. And it's definitely not, as I said, that you're just so virtuous that you're going to get into heaven. But the fact is that if you truly have faith, you're going to be like a tree that's rooted in a riverbank, that's used as an analogy, but also in prophecies throughout the Bible, in Isaiah and Ezekiel. And when you're rooted, your roots will gather those nutrients that comes from that river of living water. As Jesus said in John 7:37, he who believes in me will have rivers of living water flowing from his innermost being. And when you truly believe, when you don't just say it, but you believe it, and you're rooted in that with everything of your being, because you love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your mind, you are going to produce fruit like a tree does. Your leaves are going to expand, are going to grow. Your branches are going to grow. And naturally, that's what happens when a tree has nutrients. And it has nothing to do with anything that's inherent in that plant itself, that tree itself. It needs the power of the sun. It needs the power of the waters of the soil, and that's the only place we get that is by connecting back to our source, the true source, not just some sort of idea, some higher power that we choose our own adventure, but truly how we were created in the image of the one true living God. We cannot make this up. This is not some sort of place that we can sit comfortably at where, well, that's just how I am. Well, I'm just that way, and you feel comfortable in that, and the world will make you feel comfortable in that. You need to keep going. You need to keep going until sometimes it feels, it hurts just a little bit, because you're letting go of those things that you thought were your identity, that you thought really kind of made up who you were. And guess what you're going to discover? You're going to discover who you truly are. You're going to discover who you knew you were from the very beginning. As a child, as children, honestly just naturally know as far as the truth of God, deep down in that place beyond words where we know, but we've been misaligned into the world, and we've forgotten so much of that. When you find your true identity as being created in the image of the one true living God, that is a peace that you'll have that surpasses all understanding, and that's when everything will lock into place and will click. So we talk about that, and we're here to help anybody at Rivers Path Outreach. FaceTime, message, please give us a call. My number is 434-945-3342, and Regina is 434-444-9019. And we're honestly here to help anybody that wants help. So, love all y'all.